Hello there, Biakamuso desu and welcome to my review of Sonic Frontiers. Honestly, I'm not even sure where to start this review because the game, I should be proud because it was my first ever Sonic game that I finished, UPA, but it was not, well, if it was a memorable experience, it was for the wrong or bad reasons. So let's try to go by parts. Usually you know that my reviews are very focused on the story elements of the game. And I have no story elements I can share. The story is so bland. I was so bored by the task of doing the same things over and over on 5 islands that honestly, whenever they gave me pieces of the story, those basically flew by me because I can't be bothered to remember what the story is about. I remember Sonic is there, his friends are also there or not because I don't get it. They aren't really physically there or they're kind of stuck in other dimensions and Sonic is seeing these kind of holographic versions of them. I'm not sure, you see. And I know Eggman is there. What is he doing? Not sure. And I know that Sonic, as always, is trying to collect the Chaos Emeralds to gain his supersonic powers and be able to defeat the Titans that are being controlled by Eggman because Eggman has this kind of small girl AI that he created that is controlling the Titans. And she has this admiration for Eggman. She's an Eggman creation. She looks up to him and kind of acts like some kind of, she's looking for a daughter-father relationship with Eggman. Honestly, if there was a plot twist about her story, there probably was. I cannot remember. Honestly, it's been a while, of course, since I last played Sonic Frontiers. It has been a long while, but you can see that even though there are games I've played maybe even before Sonic that I can clearly remember at least the major points of the story. For this game, everything is just a blend. I do remember the characters being there, but honestly, what are they even doing? And this game also gives you an insight into these alien species that are the creators of the Chaos Emeralds, I think? Yeah, I'm not sure. And you sometimes see flashbacks of warriors of the civilization they had through your own friends because they try to tell this personal story and personal connection between the different characters slash friends of Sonic, and they are trying to make bridges, but it's lost to me. So there's not a lot about the story that I can offer you. It's a very, I think, simple story, interesting in its own right, but honestly nothing really stuck with me. And I feel like Sonic in this game is just as lost as any player as to what he's doing there. So I think I'm gonna talk more about the gameplay, but then again, you will see that this review, usually I have a lot of good stuff to say about games that I play in general, because when you choose a game to play, you choose a game that you like, that you are interested for some reason or the other. Maybe it's the gameplay, maybe it's the soundtrack, maybe it's the story. But for this game, the game was lent to me by my friend Andre Viana. Thank you once again for lending me the game and allowing me to experience this. I will thank you for this insight, for being able to actually finish a Sonic game. But yeah, I don't have a lot of positive stuff to say about this game. It's not the kind of game that I would normally play. It was a challenge and a way for me to also see if the kinds of games I have in my mind, if the kinds that I think I don't like, I actually don't like. And yes, I've just confirmed I know myself very well, and I There are certain games that just aren't on my radar of interest. But the problem with the gameplay, I will say, I don't hate the gameplay of the game. What I hate is how repetitive it becomes, and so fast. So for some reason you have 5 islands to explore in this game, because I think the premise or the big selling point of the Sonic game was that it was supposed to be like this open world. And I think the devs have proven that that's not a very good idea for Sonic. The game looks terrible in terms of the sceneries that they show. Sometimes you are running with Sonic and you can literally see the layers of textures just loading while you go by. And the islands are so bland and so boring to look at. It's an island with green, it's an island of a desert, it's an island with lava, it's an island with rocks. You see, it's so bland. And sometimes you really need to be, because the islands are full of tracks and stuff for you to interact to kind of, so it's open world, but then you have these side scroller moments, or you know, these 3D corridors that you use to access certain places and to do the speedy stuff that Sonic usually does on the levels. And usually you have to kind of be on top of the things for you to see them, because if you look at them at the distance, you can't see anything. So you can see that the game is not well done in that sense as well. Of course, you still have, fortunately, the levels that are characteristic of Sonic, and those are moderately fun. Once again, I'm not the target audience. They are pretty, they are fun to do. They are for you to actually earn vault keys. So in this game you are basically exploring the island so you can get vault keys, because the vault keys allow you to open the vaults that contain the emeralds. And imagine collecting vault keys for each island to unlock 7 emeralds. So then when you go to the next island, you just lose the emeralds and have to look for them again. Can you see how this becomes repetitive after, you know, reaching the 5th island? Need I say more? Then again, I was talking about the levels. The levels are fun. The vault keys, here's my suggestion. Do the first island, explore it to the max, and maybe you will find it, you know, sometimes a little bit boring, but still doable, and you're still entertained. Then by the second island, you are kind of getting, you know, tired of doing this. So what I would suggest is go look for the map, because you kind of have to explore the map to be able to see it, and just try to find as fast as you can Biggs's pawn, or the fishing minigame that you do with Biggs. And you basically, I don't remember what you spent to be able to fish, because you need to spend something. I can't be bothered to remember what. And you spend that, and you will see you will get the vault keys, as many as you want. It's so easy, you know? And yes, if you're tired of exploring the islands by that point, you can just do that, collect all the vault keys that you need, come back when you need to, and, you know, just be done with it. There was one island in particular that I was very frustrated, and it was not because of the vault keys specifically. It was because this island has a terrible map, and I had to reach a point somewhere that looked like a floating island in the middle of nowhere, and I think it was the island with lava. I think it's the island where you find tails or something, and I couldn't figure out how the hell did you reach a point in the middle of nowhere, because the map wouldn't show you the information. I had to go around and around and around until I finally had to go check a guide somewhere to finally understand that I was... I swear, it was such a frustrating moment. And one thing that I hate is when I'm doing a game and I'm being dumb and I need a guide for me to do the stuff. I don't like to check guides while I'm playing a game. I may have bad outcomes in games where there are multiple ones, but it's my decisions, and you know, I like that. I like the uncertainty. I like to explore it by myself. But when I need to advance and the game makes me consult a guide, and even the guide is saying this is bullshit, you know, that's kind of a breaking point to me. Then you of course have the fights with the titans, the fights with the machines also, because you are exploring the map and you have enemies to fight. You can use a mechanic called the Psyloop, which allows you not only to get rings, I think, but also it kind of breaks the guard for certain enemies. They did put some thought into the mechanics of combat, which is, it feels kind of weird to say about a Sonic game. But the Titan fights were dynamic in its own right, but sometimes really frustrating, and I was just questioning, why am I having even this goddamn combat in a Sonic game? So this is for me, even though I'm not a Sonic player, a Sonic fan, like I said, I mean, what have I played before this? Sonic Mania, Sonic 3D, never completed none of those games. I don't have a lot of experience with Sonic, and Sonic are not my kind of game, but I feel like this game has very little of what you usually associate with Sonic. The story is bland, the game itself, it just feels like a chore at a certain point to do. I mean, the soundtrack is nice, but as any Sonic fan will tell you, what Sonic game doesn't have a nice soundtrack? And the soundtrack alone can save the game, because I can listen to a CD. I don't need to play a game. So those are basically my thoughts. Don't forget also, you also have here the mechanics of the Cocos. You have these very cute creatures, I will give them that. You have these very cute creatures that are scattered around the islands, and you can collect them. Who knows where they are, but you can collect them, so you can return them to the Coco Elders. And the Coco Elders, there are two types of Coco Elders, I don't remember if they have different names as well, and they will give you either a stamina / speed boost or a health boost. I don't remember exactly what they give you, but you know, they give you certain boosts. Honestly, I'm not sure it made a very big difference. I mean, the health boost, but I'm not sure it made such a big difference, you know? So yeah, you also collect tokens to be able to unlock your friend's story. I think some of the story is mandatory by the main plot, but at a certain point I think you can keep collecting tokens to talk with them and unlock other stuff, and it's not exactly for the main story. But I did enjoy the interactions between Sonic and his friends, seeing the connections that they were making to flashbacks of the aliens. That was cute and I enjoyed those. But honestly, I think the bottom line of this is Sonic is not for me. I will still try to play a few Sonic games because I am still interested in some of them. But yeah, I'm not sure, but there's probably a part of the fandom that really enjoys this game. But it's not a game for me, and I don't think it's what a Sonic game should be. But then again, I'm not any expert, so this is just my 2 cents as someone who has experienced Sonic with no previous knowledge. So, hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much. I hope this is one of those shorter reviews because, yeah, I don't have a lot to add about this game. And if you want to see all my content live, I play all my games over on my Twitch channel, so you can check that out. And if you have enjoyed, or if you think that I am wrong about my opinions and you have other stuff that you would like to highlight about this game, feel free to share that on the comments. Leave a like to support this video, subscribe my channel, and I hope to see you next time. May music always be your life force.